Hi guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. Today I would like to show you how to make this beautiful blanket with super chunky vegan yarn. This yarn is very similar to Merino wool that we are using for many of our products, but it's lighter, it's not wool, so it doesn't cause any allergy, and it's much cheaper also than Merino wool. So the size of the blanket will be 40 by 60. It's pretty good size. This blanket is folded in two, and this is a medium size, and we will be using 6 pounds of vegan yarn. You can find it at BeCozi.net, and I will show you the size of this blanket in the next couple shots that you would see how big is it when you placing it on the couch or when you are covering yourself sitting on the couch. So again, 6 pounds of super chunky vegan yarn. You can find it at BeCozi.net, and if you're ready, let's get started. Okay guys, so this is a blanket 40 by 60, and you can see that it's covering your whole body from the toes all the way to your neck. It's a very good size. It's not good for cuddling in, but it's really good to just cover your body when you're sitting on the couch. So let's get started, guys. We will start with the usual way of casting on. This is the working yarn on the right. This is tail. We're making a loop like that. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, and pull it through. So this is our first stitch. You can see it's about 3.5 inches, and we will keep it this way. Now we will be casting on a chain to start. So inserting a hand, grab working yarn, and pull it out. So this is our second stitch, and now guys, we'll be using the simplest way of casting on for hand knitting. You're using your right hand, you're inserting your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. It's very easy, it's very fast. It will be the easiest way to hand knit your first row, or actually the chain to start the first row. So for the blanket 40 by 60, the medium size that we will be making, you will need to start with 16 stitches, guys, okay? So let's count what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 16 stitches. Try to keep all the stitches the same size, about 3.5 inches, okay? What we're doing now, the working yarn goes on the back. We are turning our chain on another side, and we will be using these knots to make our first row. So this stitch is staying here. Now we are lifting this knot, inserting our hand, grabbing working yarn, and pull it out. The same with the next one. Find the knot in the middle, lift it, insert your right hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. Keep doing the same way, guys, until you pull out the first row of all 16 stitches. 16 stitches will give you a size 40 inches for the blanket width. How to calculate how many stitches you will need to cast on? You need to divide the width of your blanket by 2.5. 2.5 is a divider if you're using our Merino wool or vegan yarn. This is like this one. It's super chunky vegan yarn. It looks and feels like Merino, but it's not Merino. It's handmade product, and this one is much lighter. And of course, if you have allergy to Merino, even with Merino being hypoallergenic, you will not have any problems with this yarn. So our first row we will be making the same way as we will be doing the whole hand knitting process. You insert in your hand inside, grab working yarn, and pull it out. The same for the next stitch. and I usually use my left hand when I'm knitting from left to the right, and I'm using my right hand when I'm knitting from the right to the left. So this is our second row, guys. You can see that stitches are pretty big and looking very nice, soft and beautiful. And this blanket is gonna be much lighter because vegan yarn is much lighter than merino wool. So here we're done with our second row. This is our last stitch. We're hand knitting it the same way. And then what we're doing on the next row, the working yarn goes this direction, guys, because we're knitting this direction. I am usually skipping knitting the first stitch. You can see that it's kind of laying separately like that when we knitted it last. So we are starting with knitting our next row with the second stitch. Why I'm doing it this way? Because this way you will have a beautiful chain on the side, and the blanket will not be curling on the sides too. And another good reason to do it, you will use a little bit less yarn if you're skipping the first stitch. So now, guys, we will be just going through the whole blanket the whole yarn we have for the blanket. And when we have 60 inches, I will come back and show you how to cast off. Let me show you again that when I'm starting the new row, I'm usually skipping the first stitch and just starting knitting with the second one. Okay, so let's keep knitting until the length of the blanket is 60, and then I will come back and I will show you how to cast off. So let me show you how to cast off. When you have 60 inches long blanket, you will be casting off, and for casting off you insert your hand inside this first stitch, then you add in second stitch to the hand, then you're grabbing working yarn and pulling it through. The same with the next one. Just add second stitch to the hand, grab working yarn and pull it through. Keep doing this way until you are done with the whole length of the blanket. And you can see that the beautiful chain is forming here. That will be the top of your blanket. So here we are, guys. This is the last stitch, I'm sorry. So two last stitches knitted as one, and now you have one stitch left. You can pull and break your yarn. You can insert the tail inside this last stitch, gently pull it, and now we will weave in this end. So we will go underneath the chain here and here. And now for vegan yarn, the same as for merino wool, I strongly recommend to use the felting needle and felting mat. You can find them on our website, BeCozi.net, in accessories section. So what you're doing, you're hiding the end behind the stitch. Then you are using your felting mat. You're placing this stitch with the tail on the felting mat. Use felting needle, and you are felting basically the vegan yarn like that. It will attach to that last stitch, and here you go, we're done. And you will not see where it is. It will not be slipping out when you're using it. And the same you can do on the other side of your blanket. pull the yarn out like that, make it a little bit fluffier on the end, and then weave in the end and hide it behind any stitch on the back like that. Then place this stitch on the mat and poke it carefully down. Poke your fingers, it's very sharp, and here it is. It's nicely felted on the back. You cannot see where the end is. So you can find this yarn on BeCozi.net, and it's summer, it's on sale now, so go ahead and purchase some before the sale ends. Stay warm and be cozy.